Barbie, misery is only feminism can deliver. It is said that hurt people hurt people. No statement could sum up the ideology of modern feminism better, and no movie does as good a job of illustrating this warped worldview than Barbie. The central destructive notion of liberalism is the idea that we're all individuals, maximizing our freedom and pursuing happiness. I have much sympathy for this approach when it comes to relations between the citizen and the government. I am liberal in the sense that I want to be free from authoritarian control in order to be able to pursue my own happiness, as I see fit. What I believe liberalism gets wrong is the attempt to apply this concept outside of the relationship between the individual and the state and extend it into the realm of family and human relations more broadly. Yes, freedom from intrusive government is likely to provide opportunities for each individual to pursue their own happiness, but it is simply a lie to say that maximizing freedom from your fellow human beings is a recipe for happiness. This is why smart feminists like my friend Louise Perry are now making precisely the opposite argument. In writing her last book, The Case Against the Sexual Revolution, Perry said that as a feminist, the best advice she can offer young women is to, quote, get married and do your best to stay married. In other words, happiness is derived not from your freedom from other people, but from the bonds you form with them. Indeed, as any parent knows, the most meaningful things we ever get to do are the very things that constrain our freedom the most. But Barbie wasn't made by smart feminists, and it shows. If the poison pill of hyperliberalism is to encourage us to see ourselves as atomized individuals, the liberal feminism of Hollywood depicted here is worse still. You're not actually free to pursue your happiness by yourself, says Barbie, because you live in a world which is run by one of two competing gangs. In Barbie Land, the protagonist lives in a magical realm surrounded by fellow dolls. This section of the movie, which looks like a diversity consultant threw up over a casting shortlist, is best enjoyed as unintentional satire of a world without men. The female dolls take out the trash in pretty pink bins while wearing miniskirts. There's no running water, and the various models of Ken, the men of this magic land such as they are neutered and relegated to their rightful place, the sidelines. The Supreme Court is obviously all female, so is the president. She wears a sash like a beauty pageant winner for extra gravitas. When Barbie is forced by a contrived set of circumstances to travel into the real world, she and her loser accomplice Ken, all the men in this movie are losers, discover that things are exactly the other way around. Men in the real world ogle women, slap their asses and drive big black cars. Boo! Barbie goes from matriarchy to patriarchy, and boy does she hate it. Ken, on the other hand, snorts that patriarchy right up both nostrils and returns to Barbie Land to make it some sort of deranged teenage boy's dream house, complete with mini fridges, table football, and songs about keeping women down. That, my friends, is the choice, says Barbie. Matriarchy or patriarchy? Pick your champion. The modern feminist movement is intent on brainwashing young women and increasingly the rest of us to see the relationship between men and women as one of competition. The insanity of this worldview, of the fact that it is increasingly making women miserable, is by the by for the ideologues who are advancing it. But fear not, for Barbie has the solution. When she returns to the Barbie land Ken has now ruined with his toxic masculinity, Barbie and her fellow plastic girl bosses work out what to do. They must use the ego, hubris, and stupidity of men against them. Once the humiliation is complete, men stop oppressing women and instead cry, talk about their feelings, and do all the other things men need to do to be better. Because as we all know, the way for men to be better is for them to be more like women. Because women are equal to men, and better too. In any case, having retaken Barbie Land from the clutches of the patriarchy and rejected Ken's quite reasonable suggestion that he and Barbie, i.e. men and women, are created to be together, Barbie is free to ride off into the sunset, alone. No one tells her that what awaits her at the conclusion of her journey of empowerment is cats, wine, and misery. But why would they? Feminists want other women to make the same mistakes they did. Misery loves company. In a perfect metaphor for modernity, the marketing budget for Barbie is bigger than the production budget for the movie itself. Why make a good product when you can just make it shiny, start a buzz, and hire a famous hot woman to front it? For feminism.
Do you guys ever think about dying?